they see somebody who's different. And I realize, ladies and gentlemen, that I do look different from many of you. I'm good looking. Sharon's over here waiting for the punchline. But it doesn't matter. I mean, people react when they see somebody who looks different. Kids are great. Kids are honest. When a little kid's going to stare at you, he's going to flat out stare at you. Always wanted to do this to a kid. Had this one boy come up to me and he wanted to know why I didn't have any hands. I told him I used to bite my fingernails and one day I went too far. He's in trauma therapy. He hadn't better clipped his fingernails since. Oh, I forgot to mention, I also drive Uber and Lyft when I'm not out on the road touring. Imagine me being your Uber driver. You gonna do what? Had this guy got in my car, businessman. I knew immediately what his handicap was. He had an Armani suit on. He didn't say hi, he didn't introduce himself, he didn't do nothing except he looked at my hook on the wheel. He said, "Were you born like that?" I said, "Without the hook?" Said, "That would really hurt. My mom would not be happy. This is going to tear a little." Kind of gives a whole new meaning to the phrase, clawing your way out. People do the strangest things. I mean, it's weird. Now, many of you are older, so I can tell this story because y'all will get it, right? Especially the guys. What is the one thing that every guy our age used to remember about the day they turned 18? Come on, guys, somebody just yell it out. Don't be shy. You won't catch COVID by yelling. You might get it from the slap you're going to get from your husband or your wife. 18 years old. What's the one thing that comes on your 18th birthday? A letter in the mail from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. I got one. Dear Mr. Steinberg, that's me. Greetings from the President of the United States of America. Glory, glory, hallelujah. But I digress. Can you see me in khaki green? Picture this, Jeff Steinberg marching to the beat of a drum. Why, I'd salute and give myself a concussion. You are hereby ordered to report to your local draft board to register for the draft. So I did. Walked into the draft board, walked up to this lady at the front desk who looked over her glasses at me. Kind of like that. She might have been related to you. You did that so easily. She looks over her glasses at me. She says, "Yes, may I help you?" I put the letter on her desk. I said, "Here I am. Sign me up." She took off her glasses and she cleaned them. She put them back on. She said, "Sign you up for what?" I said, "I'm here to win the war." She turned toward her, brace yourself, folks. You're never going to hear this word again in public. She turned toward her typewriter. I said that in a church one night. There was about 600 people in the crowd, and a 13-year-old sitting on the first row yells out, "What's a typewriter?" I said, "Ask your grandmother. She probably still has hers. She tried to figure out where you plug it into the wall to see the screen." She turned toward her typewriter. She started asking me the dumbest questions. Well, you decide. Name! It's on the letter. Dear Mr. Address! And how do you think I got that letter? Age! Let's see. You only get the letter if you're 18. Guess. Take a shot at it. You think I'm handicapped? Social Security number! I told her I was socially insecure. Classification bingo! And I quoted it from the UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice. I said, 4F. And then I told her what it meant. From the book, it says, physically/medically unfit for military service. And ladies and gentlemen, your relative stopped what she was doing, turned and looked over her glasses at me, and if looks could kill, somebody else would be singing here tonight. And then she said, "Oh dear, I'm going to have to get the supervisor for this one." I said, "Go ahead, because I'm going to be this way when she gets here too." And I was. Just like this. Only younger. And you think I'm handicapped. One more quick story. You're going to love this. When we, after the service, this year I will be celebrating, you know, 47. 47 years. Now, 1972 to maybe 48. 48. Yeah. It's that lady. She still freaks me out when I dream. So, I'll be celebrating 48 years of full-time Christian ministry. And in all those years, after each of the services, the pastor will take us out to eat. And as is customary, a bunch of people from the church often go with us. Many of them sitting at the same table. Many of them hoping the pastor will pick up their check. I'm telling you now, it ain't going to happen. Don't do it. The pastor's platinum card has turned to mush. So here we are this one particular night. We went out to eat. There was like 15 people at this table. And the waitress comes over. Now, anybody here ever wait tables for a living? You waited tables? You waited tables? Who else? Preacher's wife, you waited tables. Okay, so you all know what I'm going to tell you. You can kind of correct me if I got it wrong, okay? She comes over, and she's kind of chewing her gum, and she goes, And she kind of, shoves her one hip out like this and kind of bends her leg, and she says, and she starts taking everybody's order in turn. And she looks at me, and she looks at my assistant. His name is Jeffrey Luff, and he played piano for me at the time and was running sound, and he was my partner for a lot of years on the road. She looks at me, she looks at him, she looks at me, she looks at him, she looks at me, she looks at him, she looks at me. She turns to him, and she goes all the way around the table, taking everybody's order in turn. Finally, she comes back around, and now there's nobody left but me. She stands in exactly the same spot, right between him and me. She looks at me, she looks at him, she looks at me, she looks at him, she looks at me, she looks at him, she looks at me, she turns to him, and she says, and what would he like? And my friend looked up at her and said, why don't you ask him? So she did. Just like I was deaf and stupid. And what would he like? Another waitress would be nice. But Pastor, I was good. I was really, really, really good. It like to kill me to be good. Being the shy, quiet, mostly serious-minded person that I am, I looked up at her and I said, and when she was done wiping herself down, I said, I'll give you a $10 tip if you can tell me what it is I do for a living. To which she responded, I don't have a clue. To which my friend replied, that's for sure. So I'm all set to tell her that I am a singer, that I am an award-winning comedian humorist, that I'm an author, that I am a recording artist, that I am a husband and a father and a grandfather, and I'm incredibly talented, very, very cute, and mostly humble. I'm all set to tell her all of this when all of a sudden, my best friend for more than 47 years reaches over, grabs a hold of my hook, rotates it till it points upward toward the ceiling, and then announces to one and all in the restaurant, he's a professional coat hanger. To which the waitress replied, really? I said, no ma'am, I'm a brain surgeon and you're my next patient. And you think I'm handicapped. You're never going to be the same. You know that, right? Everybody's worried about COVID and all this stuff, and our immune systems and everything. Do you really want to cure COVID? Do what I do. Open doorknobs with your mouth. Write with a pen in your mouth. Your immune system will beef right up. Let's get some action going. Let's get some excitement going. Let's get some blood pumping.